Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Happy New Year and welcome into the Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, the premier destination for all KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances. Right now, they've got their Boxing Day kitchen sale and Boxing Day laundry sale. Save $150 when you purchase any two qualifying Whirlpool, Maytag, or KitchenAid major kitchen appliances. $300 when you purchase any three or more. And for the laundry sale, save $150 when you purchase any two Whirlpool or Maytag laundry appliances from now till tonight, January 8th. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite Mr.
Your favorite Mr.
YQM.
Your favorite Mr.
Your favorite Mr. YQM. Your Mr.
That's okay.
Starbucks.
That's okay.
I'm distracted by your cup, sir.
It's a gingerbread cup.
Yeah.
It's the only thing my wife got me for Christmas.
What? Well, speaking of that, Mr. Jeremy Boucher, it's been a couple weeks, as you can tell by the way I fumbled that intro.
Like that scene from Hangover. We are back. We're back. We are back.
We are getting dog back. Like I said, when you showed up, man, it was weird. It was weird to forget to leave the door unlocked for you to step into the studio. But how was your Christmas?
Pretty quiet. You know, like I said, I discovered that life hack of doing all my shopping on Amazon and, financing it instead of.
So you're still paying Christmas off?
Oh, yeah, still paying. Yeah, paying for 11 months, but that's okay. I'll just do it again next year and start another 11 months and, whatever. It's my life hack.
Yeah.
Christmas was pretty quiet. We had a little bit of a storm on Christmas Eve, so
which was nice. You got your white Christmas that you were wanting.
Yeah, exactly. Which hasn't happened very often, but that kind of prevented any parties. You usually take a trip up to my parents and then my aunt and uncle's place, but that didn't happen this year. So just stayed home and watched some Christmas movies and just got the tree all ready for the next morning, and probably fell asleep around 10 o'clock. Woke up, Santa found his way to the Bouchers again.
You don't say.
Yeah, there was even tracks. Woke up because of the fresh snow. There was tracks in the backyard.
Yeah,
so
nice.
I told Avery, I was like, "Oh, that's a good. That means you're a good girl. Santa brought us his reindeer in the old backyard." Because they came right from the neighbor's house on the side of the house into our backyard, around the tree, all along the side of the house, and then into the neighbor's house the next door. So I was like, yeah, there's Santa's reindeer.
Do you have the tree upstairs or downstairs?
We have the tree upstairs.
Upstairs in the window?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had the same thing. It was a nice, quiet Christmas, just the two of us. And then, I did my shopping on the 22nd, got it all done, completely done, and wrapped on the 22nd. Wasn't one of those people that waited till the 23rd like I usually do. And I will say my favorite tradition at the mall is when the snow comes, nobody knows how to park. It's a free-for-all, park whichever way you
Create
want.
your own parking spot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, just a quiet Christmas is just the two of us for one more year.
Yep.
And next year we'll see if we're here or if we're making the trip somewhere. I did have some FOMO because we were supposed to go to Ontario.
Yes.
So I was going to get us media for the World Juniors to cover some from Picardcheck. Right. And then when she couldn't travel, I was like, oh, that's fine. It's no big deal. And then the World Juniors got here and I'm like, you know what? I'm having some FOMO, but it was a nice quiet. I did watch Christmas with the Cranks.
Yes.
It was okay. I'd give it a good 7. It wasn't, I don't think it's going to be on the list.
Not even Saturday night.
It was I like, for never seeing it. I went in with a arms wide open approach, as Creed likes to say, and no, it was cute. I didn't mind it. I can see why it was one of your top ones. New Year's again, had my tickets for sitting on the couch by 9:30. We went to the Wildcats game.
Yeah,
went outside from Christmas Day to New Year's Day with the temperature wise, like absolutely you couldn't have picked better weather for New Year's Eve.
It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Went outside, walked around for a bit, went in the car, parked to an angle, watched the fireworks. stopped at A&W, was
Nice.
home for the Oilers game
There
on
you
New
go.
Year's Eve
There
by
you
like
go.
10 o'clock. Like, it was an absolute perfect New Year's Eve.
Yeah. For me, I was in bed by 10:30 on New Year's Eve. It's my New Year's Eve tradition is watching New Year's Eve, the movie that has literally everybody in it. Other than that, we watched that, and I think probably by 10:30 we were in bed. Woke up the next day, and it was the New Year.
Yeah.
So it's not a big. These holidays aren't very big for.
They're not as fun
anymore.
when you're an adult. When you're in school and you got those pure 2 weeks off, they were great. You want to know what my wife got me in stocking stuffers that came like 4 days ago from Temu that came after Christmas? Oh yeah,
Temu.
Yeah.
Oh, underwears.
Yes.
Donald Trump socks.
Donald Trump socks.
Love it.
And one of the best, funniest gifts.
Her face on your
Her
underwear?
face on my underwear. So if you want to get this for your significant
Can't
other,
believe you're showing that
Temu.
on TV right now.
Oh, I absolutely had to,
amazing.
man. I haven't worn them yet. As soon as I got them, I was like, oh, I should. No, I'm going to save these for the show. The fans will absolutely love it. You know what's crazy with what day we are right now? What are we? The 7th? I guess it would be the 6th when we record, so the 8th. There's 4 more home games till my daughter arrives.
Wow.
Yeah, just like that, which means there's like, what, 26 till your child arrives?
Hopefully
Plus
more
playoffs?
Hopefully more than 26.
No, I mean the regular season. Like how fast it's
Oh, yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like it's going that fast, and then all of a sudden,
Boom.
it's here. Did you catch up on Hell's Kitchen? That it was finally back? Double elimination?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did.
It was finally, all of our shows are finally coming back. Hell's Kitchen.
Man, I didn't know it was back.
It was. Do you want me to spoil it for you? Or you want to wait till next week?
No, you got to wait. You'll have to wait.
Oh, you got to wait? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Can't be doing that.
Okay. It is a double. It's double elimination, but with having a 6-week break, it felt like you kind of figured that it was going to be a
So that must mean next week is Black Jackets.
Black Jackets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, all right. As always, fan listeners, you can follow us on all the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, and as well right here on YouTube. Don't forget to click and smash that subscribe button. Lets us know you like what we're doing, and click the little bell so you don't miss any podcast, post games, or any content this season. We do have a quick question for you, sir.
Back in the new year.
Back in the new year. Yeah. The new year quick question. It is based on the QMJHL article. It came out about a week and a half ago, talking about MVPs. And I'm trying to find the article that was there. I know Dawson Mercer was on that. There was a couple other players that we maybe didn't talk about, but the one that stood out, Caleb Denouillet, is on that list to potentially be an MVP. Now, we both picked Pekarchuk at the start of the season, and he's done nothing but continue to impress. Does he have, now that we're into the second half, trades are done, does he have a shot to win the MVP of the QMJHL in his second season?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at where he's at right now. He's 10 points off the scoring lead, and the guys at the top, if their line mate's not right below them, it's 1 or 2 down. And I mean, look what Dinwiddie is doing. He's got 51, and the next Wildcat is Sumpf at 38, which is absurd, right? So for him to be where he's at in this scoring race right now,
10 points behind Fauchon.
10 points behind Fauchon with his line mates.
5 games in hand, actually.
Yeah. He leads the league in game-winning goals, leads the league in points per game right now, leads the league in plus minus. I don't care what you say. It's whether you think it's a meaningless stat or not, it still means something. I think he's got a realistic shot. Like, if he keeps up this pace, and I mean, this team's only going to get better. I mean, yeah. I think you would have asked me that a month ago. I probably said, no, probably not. But he's on a torrid pace ever since the Prospects Challenge.
So the article that came out on the 27th it had 5 names. It had Justin Carbonneau from Blainville. It had Caleb Denouillet as Moncton, Jonathan Fauchon, Josh Fleming in Bathurst, and Riley Mercer, with honorable mentions to Sam Oliver and Drummondville, Justin Poirier, and Jacob Steinman. I think of those 5 names not in the honorable mention, I think you have to give it Caleb Denway just based on those 5 names. Now I think Dawson Mercer might be the first to win the MVP since I don't even know when the last goaltender, if there wasn't ever a goaltender that's won the award. But I think he's in a dogfight with Mercer if you look at those 5 names. And I've said it many times on lives. You've said it on here. I mean, the fact that this guy doesn't have a C on his chest is indicative of, I think, what happens next year. But
yeah, easily.
He is only 17, which I understand. But like when he's not in the lineup,
the team is so much better.
Yeah, when he's not in the lineup, the team just doesn't play well, and I think that's the biggest indictment on his chance to be MVP.
You're right. I would have nothing against him having the C after Christmas if there is a decision, if they decide to, continue on with just having assistants. That it doesn't seem to be causing any issues or any concerns. But I would like to see a captain in the second half.
Yeah. I don't want to say we deserve a captain, but I definitely think we should have a captain. And just because he is a C or someone's a C, or just because they put a C on it doesn't mean they're not already a leader in this locker room. There's enough leaders in this locker room that I think it doesn't have to have a C, but I think he should, and I think he's got a legitimate shot to be MVP. But we'll have to see how the rest of the second half goes. Speaking of second half, that means we're back, so that means the trade deadline's over.
That's right.
Are you ready to talk about some trades with someone who has a very good reason why we're talking about trades?
I'm ready for this.
All right.
I'm excited for this.
All right, hang on. All right, well, we got a guest waiting in the backstage area, so let's get to him because I'm sure he's got some opinions.
Yes.
View from the other bench.
Well, talk about timing with the trade deadline coming to an end on Monday. We thought what better guest to have tonight to talk about all the deals that we made / he made, the general manager of your Moncton Wildcats, Taylor McDougall. First of all, Taylor, Happy New Year to you and your family. And thanks for taking the time on what I'm guessing was a very busy day for you to join us.
No, thank you very much for your time, guys. Appreciate you having me, and Happy New Year to you two as well, and congrats on your exciting news as well.
No, thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Like we joked before we started this, we're gonna have a car seat here and a car seat over there, and burping the baby as we do this show, and just we're not stopping for all the fans. So I guess I'll just start with a bombshell for most of the fans and us on the 4th there from Stefan Leroux. The Dylan Gill was going to be sent back to the queue and was going to be traded to the Moncton Wildcats. I know that trades don't generally happen during the trade period. I know that irons are in the fire, files are open, and whatever you want to talk about it. Is that something that was in the works for a while? Is that something that you kind of got just shortly before that news broke?
Yeah, I would say shortly, but at the same time, I think to your point, I think you have to look at all possible variables and options, like going into a trade period, particularly one that was as important as this one to our organization. So you kind of cast a wide net of options, and then you start going down the road on each one, and you can kind of evaluate them as you do more and more diligence on them and see if it's a fit. So I would say it was included in that process, but we never went too far down the road on it until we had reason to, and we hadn't had reason to for very long, I guess is how I'd best describe that. It came together pretty quickly.
Yeah, and kicking off the trade period, with the acquisition of Maxime Cote, we've already seen, how valuable he is to the organization and the roster. I guess, what do you like about him to ensure that he was a Wildcat before, the other team snatched him up?
Yeah, no, we're to your point, we're extremely high on Max, and for a number of reasons, like on ice, off ice, things he does with the puck, things he does without the puck. He's a guy that as an organization we've had interest in for a long time and have been on for a long time, and guys that have the intangibles that he has. You have to be on for a long time because they're extremely coveted, right? If you can have one in an organization. So I just think the more you just need as many guys like him as you can have come March and hopefully April and hopefully May, right? Like those are guys that help you win hockey games. And from what you guys see on the ice, he's equally impressive behind the scenes and in the dressing room in terms of having character and bringing energy to the group. And he's won championships in minor hockey, and he's been part of playoff runs in Sherbrooke, and last year played when a impact player went down for Sherbrooke. Max went up a line and contributed vastly to them winning a round last year. So for all those factors, we were really excited to get Max.
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Yeah, I thought we had this all sorted out, but
I mean, I can go if you want. But
I was too long-winded. I messed you guys up there.
I got distracted. Obviously with the Loshing trade, I think many people, including myself, we were expecting maybe the acquisition of a top 6 forward to maybe take his spot in the lineup. I guess, who do you see kind of stepping into that role?
Probably by committee. Like I wouldn't single one person out in particular. Like we are fortunate where we've had some depth, touch wood, through the first half, and our production has been pretty good. That as in junior hockey, the taps can shut off as quickly as they can turn on. But at the same time, I think some of the offensive principles we're using regularly now as a team kind of lend themselves to more consistent offensive output, we hope. And we kind of got a glimpse when Pex and Sumphy went away to World Juniors that we had different guys step up each night and play really well and show that they're capable of it. And at the same time, when you make that move, Loesch is an extremely valuable player, brings a lot to our hockey team. But the trade-off of adding an impact defenseman, and then also probably some of the offense that defenseman will hopefully contribute. Like I don't think it'll be a wash, but if we can get the production we expect from the defense moving forward, if we can continue to improve as a group on our offensive principles and give some of our depth an opportunity. And then we've got 2 guys I'm sure we'll get to. We spoke about Max. We added Logan today. Those are both guys that we feel very comfortable being able to take not only a regular shift, but make big plays for us down the stretch.
Yeah, it's I think that's a lot of what the fans are going to see when they see a player of Loshing's caliber that's been here, that can score goals, go out. They're looking for that style of player to come back in, and you see guys like all the guys going to Rimouski, LaRose going, Burrell going. I don't want to ask if there's panic when you get into these trade deadlines on the actual day, but does it feel like you just want to stay with the course with Rick and with Alex Coche on what you guys see as a vision, and not try to get into an arms race, or I know this isn't the right word, but a panic move? Like, you just want to stay true to what you're doing, regardless of what the other teams in the queue are doing when they load up for the second half? Is there kind of how do you stay calm on a day like this when other teams are adding these top end talents and what your vision is and what you want to do?
Yeah. And I think firstly, you always take everything into consideration, right. to suggest that we have this plan that doesn't need to take anything else into consideration, and that doesn't need to be flexible, or that we don't need to reanalyze and kind of re-stress test it. Like that's not true. I think you always do that.
Right.
But at the same time, I think we have an ideology for, what we think a roster can be that wins, and certain principles within that roster. And also we think our group is taking big steps. We think there's been a lot of improvement in the group from September to December, and we plan on that happening again from January forward. Hopefully, we do have to trust as much as we want our process to be flexible, we also have to trust it a little bit too, right? Like we have to trust that there's going to be improvements made throughout the group, because we've seen that take place through the first half. So again, you take those into consideration, you balance out, that you do the cost analysis of it too, because there is as exciting as this year is and as committed as we are to it, there's an overarching principle of protecting an organization too through these days where it can get, like you said, it's very easy to get excited, and potentially get a little bit reckless and things like that. So that's why I think you need a plan to go back to, and then you kind of stress test that plan and weigh it off against what other teams are doing, and just try and make as an informed and as an educated decision as you can when those things happen.
We waited long enough to ask you about the deal that everyone is waiting for us to talk about. And I think you know which one's coming, but obviously the deal with Halifax acquiring Matthias Rousseau, Logan Crosby for Steinman and some picks. When you're looking at that kind of deal for playoff experience with Matthias and getting into the Memorial Cup and the experience he can bring, are you also looking at what other teams are maybe doing in the OHL and the WHL when you weigh that? And was that a big factor in this? Is Matthias's playoff experience?
The experience was definitely a major factor, for sure. I think we're looking at this week and trying to be successful, right? But you're correct in that it's one thing to be successful in January with the group we have. The goal is to have success in April and May, right? And so having success in January is one thing. And it's awesome. It's better than not having success. But it's at the same time, you can't lose sight of what the ultimate goal is, and our ultimate goal is to win the last game of the season. And so that's kind of the standard you have to apply when you're making decisions like we did today.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to be correct you here. You keep saying April and May, but I will remind you that the Memorial Cup final is June 1st. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. That's good. Okay, I'm a big superstition guy, so well, we can roll the tape back and I can correct my answer. But
I'd rather be playing in that game and not just ending in May here. So no,
thank you.
I guess looking at the assets that weren't traded, we still have the 2026 first and 2027 first. How important was it for you to hang on to those picks?
It was important, like at the same time, if we felt like spending a 26 first was potentially the difference in giving our team an opportunity to win in June, as you just said, that wasn't going to stop us. Like we're certainly, we trust the group and we want to give them as big an opportunity as we can to win this year. But at the same time, those are really important picks in terms of how you build an organization, and we want to have success this year, but we also want to have longevity to success too, and that's how you look at it. You get your talented players at that part of the draft, 90% of the time. So it's not to be. We view trading picks like that as like a heavy price. So not that we weren't willing to spend it by any means, but it also, you're not just gonna spend them recklessly. So the fact that they are still there is something that we feel good about, as focused as we are on this year.
Yeah, and I guess not trade related, but just one last one for me. Obviously being a former player in this league, you've made your fair share of trips up to Bathurst, but you're also a former St. John's Fog Devil. So I guess just tell us about your thoughts about the Teton move to Newfoundland.
It's mixed feelings, I guess, because obviously New Brunswick native know how important the Teton are to that region of the province, and so firstly sad to see that happen, and for that market for like a really passionate market with rich history lose a team, and our province lose a team. But on the other side, I've experienced firsthand how hospitable St. John's is as a market, and just kind of how professional the people are there, and how passionate they are about hockey. And I had an unbelievable experience when I was there for 2 years. Like it's a market that deserves tier 1 hockey, whatever it may be. So on that, sad as I am for the market in Bathurst, I'm equally excited and happy for the people in St. John's, because they deserve a high quality of hockey and in what's a beautiful facility.
And I guess I'll just finish this up. I don't think your job stops after the trade deadline. You're always listening to free agents. I guess just with the waiver wire, the free agent deadline. Is there a deadline on free agents? And do you have any irons in the fire you just want to tell Jeremy and I? Don't worry about anybody else. Is anything you want to tell Jeremy and I?
Yeah.
But when does that kind of stop for you in terms of free agents and stuff like that for this season?
No, I think your eyes and ears at all times, right? Like if there's an opportunity to improve your organization, you look at it. Leaving the trade period today, we're comfortable with our group. If that doesn't happen, at the same time, we'll look at it. The waiver wire call is tomorrow.
Okay.
So that list will kind of get circulated this evening, and we'll have a look at it. There's a free agent deadline on January 10th, and then there's kind of a more specific one on February the 10th as well. So there's a little bit of flexibility there, but at the same time, we're excited about our group that we have in the room, and if nothing's added, we're comfortable with that. But eyes and ears. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, the group that you've put together, I mean, depending how many armchair GMs you look at on social media, some of them are happy, some of them are not, but you're not going to please everyone. I think the two of us are pretty pleased with that. And if you need any help on the free agents, you know our number and our email. You send it to us, we'll let you know.
No, I appreciate that. We'll actually do that. We'll do that trade sit down beforehand. Maybe I could have used you guys beforehand, but yeah,
I don't think our team would have looked anything like yours.
No. I'm always on the EP website looking for a German player with a mom from Quebec or something like that, or a Swiss forward with a mom from New Brunswick, something like that.
I did. Admittedly, I didn't get the full clip in on the suggestions, but I was wondering if Dylan Gill made it or not. But
this is one of those weird years where we didn't even think of looking at free agents. I think last year with the rumor of the free agent to Halifax from the AHL, Robidaw. There was all that talk about Robidaw. We just kind of like that didn't happen last year, and then with the new NCAA, I don't think anybody thought of Dylan Gill. I think that was a shock to pretty much everybody. If I'm not accurate, but we'll let you get back to the kids, and thanks for taking the time. I mean, we had you after your first draft, had you after your first trade period, so we'll be excited to talk to you after your first championship.
Well, no, I appreciate it, guys, and I appreciate all the support and coverage, and I'd say that it was a really exciting day, or kind of couple of days for the organization. But no, it was a difficult day today too, obviously, right? And so the players that are moving on to new opportunities, like we would thank them for their contributions, and not something that we took, not a decision we made lightly or fastly, and those are really good people moving on to other organizations, and so I think that's important to recognize.
Yeah, we can play GMs on a podcast and talk about it, but you have to have those difficult conversations, and so I commend you on having to have those difficult decisions and having those conversations. But again, Taylor, thanks for taking the time on a busy day.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Again, I love having GMs talk about trades. It just makes our life so much easier. And again, like I said at the end, we can have fun with Taylor. Bring us on and give us your trade deadline, and we'll tell you ours and this and that. But he has to have those difficult conversations with Loshing and Steinman and all the other players and parents and agents and all that stuff. So whether it's him or Richie in the past couple of years, I don't envy being in that actual position.
No, for sure. And especially with the Loshing trade, I think I pointed out on Twitter, there's only been one player in the entire history of the organization that has played their entire career with the Wildcats from start to finish.
Yeah.
Starting with a 16-year-old and going all the way to a 20-year-old, Devin McCausland, right? It's just crazy to think how long this organization has been around for, that there's only been one player to be a Wildcat from start to finish. And people be like, well,
when you said that, I thought maybe Hallwell, but he started here and then went to Bathurst. Yeah.
And people will say, well, what about Jacob Hudson? What about, Jake Stewart? Well, those guys were call-ups, right?
Yeah.
In the first season.
Yeah.
right? They didn't play as a 16-year-old for a full time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
It's junior hockey cycles.
Jacob Sweeney is another example. He played, it says on EP, he played 5 seasons with Moncton.
Yeah.
But he was traded to Moncton at mid-season as a 16-year-old.
Right.
So it's still to this day, Devin McCausland's the only player to play all 5 seasons, start to finish, with the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's what junior, like, as much as fans enjoy the trade deadline when your team is adding, not so much when you're selling. That's the tough part, is the cycles. You get a good player at 16. He's an impact by 18, 19. He's moving on to help a contender, and you don't play that 5-year. And I think it might even get lower with this new NCAA rule. You might see teams build around an 18-year-old season knowing that they can go NCAA in 19. And we didn't even get to how that affects some of the decisions that are made and blah, blah, blah with roster construction down the road and stuff like that. But that's more of a draft style question for him. But on a day like Monday, when he's that busy, and a weekend like that, we really appreciate him giving us his time. So should we get to some of these trades?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
News and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the league presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Check them out on Instagram. Give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integrityLawnCare@hotmail.com if you want to set up. I mean, there's been some days where you could have cut your grass if you want to set up for next year. So the World Juniors are over. USA goes back-to-back, which is crazy to think that's the first time they've ever gone back-to-back. And I think Gord Miller was saying that's the first time they've ever actually played in the second, like had an opportunity to go back-to-back. They've never been to a second gold medal game.
That's crazy. Yeah.
They were a wagon.
Yeah. Golden goal by Valdor Furor legend Teddy Stiga.
Yeah. Who I think was one of 8 or 9 BC guys that are on that team.
Yeah.
I thought Eiserman was taking regular shifts. He was a power play specialist.
13th forward.
And their coach won a gold medal, won a national championship with Denver, won another gold medal. It's almost like we wouldn't have finished 5th if we took the best coaches available and the best players available. And this is what Canadians do after the World Juniors, after
we complain.
Yeah. TSN pumps this tournament so full of expectations.
We talk about armchair GMs. Well, us too.
Yeah.
But, you're right. That U.S. team was a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Ryan Leonard, Rouyn-Noranda Huskies legend.
Yeah.
Cole Eisman, Moncton Wildcats legend.
Yeah.
Because apparently we have until February 10th to sign him. Is that what Taylor said?
Yeah, there's a technicality. So maybe they're going to fill that spot in-house with Loshings.
Potentially.
Yeah.
There's also, I had them winning the tournament.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
And I think this is a second year in a row where Craig Button he predicts the entire World Juniors.
The bracketology?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And second year in a row, he has Canada going all the way. What happens? They're out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Every season. So maybe Craig Button, you can stop with your stupid bracketology and just talk about the World Juniors instead of making your GD predictions.
I'm assuming he does not watch a lot of NCAA hockey, so he wouldn't know.
How would he not be able to pick the USA? Like they were.
Yeah. And as bad as you think Canada is, try beating Sweden. 44 years. Yeah. And they've sent some really good teams. And they've only won one gold medal. I think obviously Hockey Canada came out after and had their smug where we had the best hotels and the best schedules and the best this and the best that. And I heard on Oilers Nation clip, they were saying you had a 3-week training camp that no one said you had to have and this and that. I think they just, when they strip it down, eventually they need to bring it back up where they hire a coach from each league and that's what they're paid for. Mm-hmm. They're paid to go through the league. And even if you hire someone that goes U17, U18, U20, because we're having success at 17 and 18, and then U20, it just dies.
Yeah.
Yes, you said you were going to build a team that, could beat USA, and you couldn't do that. But, I mean, you built a team, I understand that, but bring your best players. If you bring Bennett Seneca and you say you're playing third line minutes, he's going to go, okay, I'm representing my country third line. And if something happens, you move him up the lineup.
It's Bennett Seneca would have been a top 6 guy.
Yeah. Zane Perrick would have been a top 4, especially when you lost Matthew Schaefer to an injury. Like, bring your best players and put them into roles. If they're the best, they can fit into that role. You know, like.
Well, you knew USA was going to go gold medal when John Van Beesbrook is their general manager.
Yeah.
You know, a fun fact about John Van Beesbrook?
He had one of the coolest Wild Panther helmets that I'm trying to get a goaltender to use up here.
That's not what I'm going for.
Okay.
But is the only goalie for sure, only goalie in NHL history to have every vowel in his last name.
Huh. I would not have. I'm going to trust you
in order too. So AEIOU.
Oh yeah, I couldn't spell that, and I'm not going to Google it.
Okay, so the I comes for the E. But and he's still
all vowels.
Every vowel is in his last name.
I did
only
not
goalie in NHL history.
I did not know that. But like I said to our friend Drew Bear, who was asking me about it, it's over. I don't care anymore. I'm on to the queue. Like I get into it for 2 weeks, and if we win, great. Doesn't change my life. If we lose, great. Doesn't change my life.
Yeah. We don't look stupid. You know, look stupid. That World Hockey Report account on Twitter who was bragging about how Latvia's big moment will be playing Canada on TSN.
You're right. It was a big moment. And that's when I think everybody in this country knew that Canada was in trouble. I think he said
that Latvia's big moment would be losing 13-2 to Canada on TSN. Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, because they had lost 14-0 last year and never beat us. And hey,
well,
bring players from the queue. Things happen.
Yeah,
yes, right. We cover the league, so we're a little bit biased, but tis what it is. Let's get to some trades. There were some players that were moved around the league before we get to ours that we both wanted. Justin LaRose was one of them. That was a payment.
Yeah. So if Taylor McDougall would have tried that trade, his card would show up declined.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we saw that trade itself, Maxime Lambert, a second in 2025, a third in 2025, a second and third in 2026, and a first and third in 2027. Again,
are you done yet? Like,
we have those assets.
Yeah.
But you think the Steinman Rousseau deal got a lot of comments on the very level-headed social media that is Facebook. Imagine we gave up that for a player. Like, and that's got futures attached to it. It has to. Same with Eric Smateko to Rimouski.
Eric Smateko reeks of futures.
Yeah, a third, 2 fourths, and a fifth. Like, I think we just need to get to the point where teams put Eric Smateko, a third 2026, fourth in 2026, fifth in 2026. All future considerations. Everybody knows it. Like that on its first surface, if you don't understand how the league works, look like St. John just gave it to him for nothing.
Yep.
Because they're going to the Memorial Cup. We need to get to, I think, a point where we maybe put future considerations on things. But yeah, Drummondville, they were the team that I was the most kind of excited about other than ours in this year. And they went ahead and got a second line for some depth with Burrell and LaRose and Kingsley.
On back end, yeah.
And
you know what? Kingsley's a defenseman I liked.
Yep.
And the price for Kingsley was reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I would still prefer Dylan Gill.
Yes.
So.
Yes, that one came. The 3 Moncton deals. I don't know where you want to go with these 3. Loshing was sent to Shawinigan for a second and a third in 2026. So he does get to compete in the playoffs, which is good for him. Moncton sends Nico Elkoury, a fourth in 2025, a fifth in 2025, and a second and third in 2027 to run around for Dylan Gill, who came back from Syracuse in the American Hockey League. And then I think the one that everyone's waiting for us to talk about, Jacob Steinman, a second in 2025, a second and fourth in 2026 to Halifax for Logan Crosby and Matthias Rousseau. In a vacuum, is this what you thought you'd see? Is this team better today than they were before?
Yes, they are better.
Yeah.
They are better. They have more experience in the back end. They have more leadership on the back end now. Because keep in mind, Dylan Gill was a captain in Bruno last season.
Yeah.
Now he had an injury, I believe,
Upper body,
which obviously clearly fully recovered.
Mhm.
Enough to sign a pro contract in the offseason, start the season in the AHL, get 2 goals in his first career pro game. This is a big acquisition. This allows potentially, I think, Forte Gendron to move down to the third pairing and have Dylan Gill slot in with Morin. I'm not touching Johansson and McKinnon.
Nope.
Not touching it.
Nope.
Now, who plays with Forte Gendron, whether it's Grenier or Mullen?
It's both.
It's both.
Because we've seen Gardner not play his fourth line as much as we may like. There's some nights where Shantz plays 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't not see a scenario. I agree with you. I think this team is better. I don't not see a scenario where not most of the nights, quarter of the nights, we're playing 11-7.
Yeah.
Because Grenier can still play that second power play. I think. Now I don't know if Dylan Gill is a power play quarterback. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your game. I know I'm going to change that meme in a couple weeks after watching him, but
I think you'll like him.
Yeah. Oh, I know I'm going to like him. I just don't know if he's a power play quarterback style defenseman.
I wouldn't necessarily. Okay.
Because we got Grenier PP1 and then Morin number 2, and they kind of switch off. So
is he a power play quarterback? No. Is he going to generate offense from the blue line? Yes. So I'm going to say he's going to get a lot of secondary assists.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's
think
kind of where I'm at.
I think they can go 11-7 most nights and have all 7 defensemen play.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be a lot of secondary assist guy, but his experience and leadership on the back end will be huge. The Loshing trade, we heard rumbles about this, before Christmas. This was coming to we kind of heard about it. I think that game against Bathurst before the Christmas break.
Yeah.
Because when we were back at the rink the next night against Cape Breton, and it was still being talked about. I still didn't believe it because of what I said earlier about, he's been pretty much a lifer. Just four and a half seasons with the Wildcats. I just didn't think, we would move on from that. But you're right. He's going to have an opportunity here to play in the playoffs. If Schwedigan makes it to the third round and things are reseeded, that's probably our matchup. Given, let's assume that, we get there, which is obviously the goal.
Yeah, because they would be the lowest of the. Yeah.
So we're setting ourselves up for maybe a Moncton against Schwinigan Loshing series in the third round.
By God, it's Loshing's music.
Oh God. He, he's had his ups and downs.
Yeah.
I think probably one of the hardest shots in the league. When he gets it on net, it's tough to stop. I'm a little torn. I think I'm not as torn on this one as the other one, but again, I just didn't think it was going to happen. But to move him to get older and more experience on the back end, I get it. What I'm not so, I guess, keen about is, we didn't upgrade or fill his position in the top 6.
Right.
And that has nothing against Preston Lounsbury, who's stepped in when needed, Maxime Cote when he stepped in when needed. I just think we had an opportunity here there were some assets left. We could have went and gotten somebody that could fit into that, that slot with Vidicek and Mercier. That's kind of where I sit. And you can take it over from here.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that, and I understand. I think our top 6 is very good. I thought once the Gill news came out, you knew it was 1-for-1.
Mhm.
And we both thought that maybe he was going to Ren as part of that. Not a 1-for-1 swap, but with some picks involved. But you look at the price that was paid for LaRose. You look at the price that was paid for Burrell, 2 players that I wanted. You look at, I don't know what the price would have been for Landry, and that's
Mhm.
maybe a top 6 forward. But I think that this group, and I know it's a new regime, but I think there's a lot to be said for the chemistry in that room.
Yeah.
And I think that they didn't want to give up a ton of assets to go get these top players. Does it look like we go all in right now? Honestly, it doesn't to me. It doesn't look like we went all in like we expected maybe at the start of the season at this trade period. I thought we might go a little bit more in on more veteran players so that we could roll all 4 lines and trust them all the times. But after seeing the prices that were out there, I just was not comfortable paying Ferrari prices for a Honda Civic.
Mhm.
And I think that's the biggest key is I like what we have in the room with the group. But my biggest tear is the Steinman for Rousseau trade.
Yeah, it's one of those trades that just Simon's been such a workhorse,
Mhm.
For it's the third season with us, and just the numbers he was putting up this year, bailing us out on multiple occasions, stealing games. It was unexpected. Rousseau to Moncton has been rumored since
August,
the draft at least. And I just never thought it was going to happen. It was. I don't want to say anything that's going to, it's. We want to keep it as positive here as possible.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for Steinman.
Oh, 100%.
I feel bad because he's been such an asset, such a warrior, such a competitor, ever since he got here.
Mhm.
And for him to just, to go out like that 5 minutes before the deadline, and is Mathis Rousseau an upgrade? Experience wise, playoffs, all this other stuff. Yes, he's an upgrade. The stats, however, like that's where Rousseau, considering the team he's on with, or he was playing in Halifax, to still have the save percentage that he has.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get
to be able to put him in with the decor that we have, I'm happy about that. But at the same time, I think I would have preferred sticking with Steinman and paying the second and 5th or whatever it was to get Logan Crosby.
Mhm.
I would have been happy with just sticking with Steinman and just acquiring Logan Crosby, call it a day, bing, bang, boom. But hey, we'll see how it works out. It's experience-wise, I'd give the edge to Rousseau. I think I'm bummed.
That was my whole.
When I saw that trade pop
afternoon.
up, I was like, really? It happened?
Yeah.
That was kind of my reaction.
Had it come in the summer? All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about it. You take the 2.5 years that Steinman's been here, and you take Rousseau's same amount of time. Rousseau's played 147 games to Steinman's 141. The whole time Rousseau's played 190, including Team Canada.
Mhm.
If he can get back to the 2022-2023 form where he took a Halifax team all the way to the finals, and they were a good team.
Mhm.
Like, don't get us wrong, they were a good team. If he gets back to that, we're fine. We're good. You look at save percentage, and on a team where he was 9-21, he faced 150 more shots than Jacob Steinman this year. He's at a 3.16 and a 900 save percentage. So for goaltenders, if Rousseau was on any other team, I think people would be ecstatic about this.
Mhm.
I think if he was a Gatineau goalie, or if he was a Val-d'Or goalie or a Sherbrooke goalie, people would be like, I get it. I see it. Yeah, let's go. We got Matthias Rousseau.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's a Halifax goaltender, I think that is kind of going to rub people the wrong way. I feel the worst. Like, this is a business, and I understand that this is a business. But to give Loshing a shot at the playoffs, and then to kind of, you can only trade with who wants to make trades with you. So there might not have been a team that wanted to take on Jacob Simon as a 20. The only other one, I guess, would have been Drummondville. Well, they're not moving anybody. So it sucks for him because he's a good kid. He was a Warrior for us. He played a ton of hockey. And to see him have to finish his 20-year on a team where, he's not going to make the playoffs, or and you know what? He might be the catalyst that gets them to the playoffs. I don't know, but they're a very young team that only got younger. But I think this deal with putting Rousseau behind this team, he doesn't have to be great every night. And I think you're going to see that, but he does have the ability to steal games. And behind, he has the familiarity with McKinnon, Vidicek. There's that camaraderie in the room that we talk about. So I guess there is that. I think I'm a little bit with you. I think I was okay to go with Steinman. I mean, he's number 1 in wins. He's third in minutes, of course, behind Maloche and Rousseau. Rousseau's second in losses, but that's a team stat. That's who he's playing behind. Rousseau's second in saves in the league. Jacob Simon was 5th. So you're getting a goaltender. I mean, he just played 2 games against Cape Breton where he stopped something like 97 or 96 shots, giving them chances to win. So, and even that game that was here, it could have been 4-0 after the first period if it wasn't for Rousseau. Yep. So that's the type of your goaltender you're getting. You feel for Jacob Steinman, and now that we do what we do in interviews, it's a lot harder to see the business side of it in terms of these deals.
We were supposed to have him on our show, before Christmas.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we still can.
We still can. I still have my questions saved on my phone.
I still have mine, I think, on the I can't pick up my computer, but I still got my questions way at the bottom. In terms of the 3 Moncton deals, did we overpay for any of them? Were the prices right where you want? I'm a little sad Elkery had to go.
Yeah.
Just, again, this guy watches 1 game a year. And so I was ready to watch my 1 game a year. Not for so much for drafting, but every time you look at U18 stats, he's up in the top 10. Mm-hmm. He's up, which is obviously why we're in the round and wanted him. And I don't know if any of these deals are finished. I feel like that one might not be finished. I think
which one?
The Moncton Rinaranda one.
Oh, it's done. Definitely done.
You think so?
Oh, it's got to be done. Yeah. I can't. What are the picks again?
4th and 5th in 2025, and a 2nd and 3rd in 2027.
Yeah, it's done.
You think so?
Yeah, that's done. I
don't think that because Burrill, you think is not done with.
Yeah, Burrill's not done for sure. I already know the player who's going to.
Oh, really?
Val-d'Or. Yeah, not Val-d'Or.
Yeah, Val-d'Or.
Yeah, to Val-d'Or. Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah. So, do you think we overpaid or paid too much, or?
I'm happy. I'm happy with what was paid. People will make the argument that, the Gill trade is an overpayment. Just go look at the Fauchon trade, and there's not as much as that one.
Yeah.
So you're, considering what Rimouski paid to get Fauchon, who was arguably the top forward available, compared to what Moncton paid to get arguably now the best defenseman available.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So I think, with anytime you trade a player like El Corey, yes, they're going to dominate in U18, but will that transition to the Q? Right. And that's what you look like a player like Sidney Delorier.
Somebody had a comment on Twitter. Johnny Rocket said we were head over heels on Eli Baerjean.
Yep.
And he is a serviceable player in Shawinigan, but he's not light in the league.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. You never know how these players are going to transition.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm salivating already at the thought of Dominic Nikash and Jackson Batchilder as a duo on the back end starting next season. Give or take. Let's assume they're still around.
Yeah.
But these two will be D pairs. Like they will be partners for 3 years. So assuming nothing happens.
There's one more trade period left. Yes.
That's right.
I think the price they're paid. We talked to Rick beforehand, and you kind of said after that, if we get out of here keeping picks, we come out of here with a first and a second in 2026 and 2027. And I think that is a big win. And you've echoed it every time we've talked about trades. If you take even one of those trades from the start of the season and put them here, clear cut, Moncton winners. We got all of our deals done early in the year.
Oh, yeah.
Which has led us to 29-5. You take one or two of those and put them here, we look like clear winners, giving up what we give up.
The Vidicek trade,
yeah.
If that would have been done now, not much left in the tank.
No.
Same goes for
McKinnon and Pekarczyk. Yeah.
Right. So that's where I have to give props to them is I think they saw the writing on the wall where it was going to be in a very expensive Christmas trade period. Let's do our shopping in the summer. Let's do our Christmas shopping in the summer, Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Right. And it worked out. It's worked out in their favor. Now, were the acquisitions of Vidicek and McKinnon because of potentially a trade that was done last year around this time? Yeah, maybe. But same. Take that out, wipe that out, and you try to go to Halifax and say, we want Vidicek, McKinnon, and Russo and Moncton now.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. There is nothing left in the cupboards if that was a trade that was done today.
No, there really isn't. And then you're
probably giving Dinwiddie at the draft.
Yeah. And we don't want to do that again. Because you've a third and 24, 25, first, second, third. Yeah, no, those are gone. So now that we are all done, all the teams are done. I guess who kind of won the deadline trade period? Who's the most? Who won it? I guess. Before you answer, for me, it's Drummondville. We said they were a one-line team. They're going to be tired by the third round. I think Adam LaRose and Burrill going to get Kingsley on the back end. They've already got an MVP style goaltender. They've already got a team that knows how to win in the playoffs, knows how to win in the tournament, in the Memorial Cup. I think they are a team that, on paper, won the trade deadline for me. You?
I'll go full home. I'll go full homer here.
Yeah.
I'll say Moncton. I think they saw an opportunity to just get better overall. And is Rimouski better? Yeah. Is Drummondville better? Yeah. But when you're first overall in the league and you still find a way to improve your team, clear cut.
One team we didn't see go all in.
Cape Breton. Yeah. Don't say Dr. Drew Bear.
For what we kind of thought they would be.
Yeah. They
went and got Callum McCoy and
no, they traded Callum McCoy to Halifax.
Oh yeah, they brought in no one.
They brought in Louis Gendron.
I mean, I was thinking
Cornway,
yeah.
And another guy.
Plouffe, yeah.
And another guy. It was early in the
Guy.
trade.
Alexander
Guy. That's the guy. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
John, Guy, Cornway, Plouffe.
Yeah. So if that's the moves that's capable, there's no, to me, I mean, Drew Bear is going to hate this. Those moves, there's no wow factor. There's no moves that's going to wow you. So if you're Cape Breton you better damn well hope that those guys who underperformed in the first half get their effing asses in gear in the second half. Because, at this point, they're lining up to play either Bathurst or Baie-Comeau in the first round. Bathurst is probably going to be the preferred opponent for Cape Breton right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with Baie-Comeau. So
not if you're them, no. Not after
that is a tough first round matchup. And if they get past that, they get us in the second round.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
and they went all in to beat us, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what their owner said.
Yeah, they went in last year with Sabolka and Romeo and La Rochelle getting back their captain in Newcombe. Like I think when you look at what they did in hindsight's 2020, I think you were on to something with make some other teams better this year and stock your cupboards for next year.
Because Thomas Lavoie will not be around next season.
Nope. So that's a team that, they better hope that they're underperforming, and Cornwall and Malota have great second halves and they can put the puck in the net. But they're
bronze medalist Jacob Malota.
Yes,
playing 0,
but he's got a bronze medal.
Get a bronze medal.
All right. You want to talk about our team a little bit?
We're still doing hockey game reviews.
Yeah, we
can. I thought that was the whole trade period.
Well, we can do it if you want.
I thought we were just talking about trades all day.
Oh, we can if you'd like. It's up to you.
Whatever. Hey, we won 8 in a row.
Yeah. All right. Let's quickly talk about our team.
Weekly Rewind.
Don't ask me to talk about what happened last week, because
I can't.
We've won 8 in a row.
Yeah. No, we've gone 5-0 over the holiday break, bringing us to 29-5-2 for 60 points. First in the Maritimes, Eastern Conference, and the QMJHL. Setting up that first round opponent with St. John.
Oh, lovely.
I mean, the team just continued to almost didn't miss a beat without Karchek and Sump. I think, Cote coming in, like I said when we interviewed him, sorry, I'm not familiar with your game, but he's a perfect player that can play those third line minutes and come up if needed. And I think with him and Crosby on that third line, or even Logan Crosby on the fourth line now, I think this team's depth just got better. And we're tying the trades plus the game recaps, whatever. I think my favorite part about the trade deadline is not a single defenseman was touched. After you coming on here and saying the defense was far exceeding your expectations, they didn't touch defenseman. Other than adding 2 an already good defenseman, which again, the 7th defenseman makes things a little tough. And I think the best part about this trade period for us is the team gets out on a road trip, so they can kind of and the longest road trip of the year to Gatineau, Rennes, and Val-d'Or to get that chemistry, right? Get the practices, get around each other, get. I mean, Crosby and the other, Rousseau and McKinnon and Vidicek, they've all been together, and these kids all know each other. But I think the fact that the road trip is happening when it's happening is an absolute perfect time for a road trip.
No, you're right. And I'm sure it's going to be good for Dylan Gill, probably his second is Rouen the final. Rouen is the middle game. Yeah. Saturday. So to be able to go in there, second game back in the queue, and it's in your old barn, right? That's going to be pretty
Once
good.
A husky, always a husky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put him on the list of interviews.
That was my husky impersonation.
Well,
You're right. It's going to be one of those road trips where it's a good opportunity for, like you said, these players know who Mathis Rousseau is. Anybody who watched the game against Halifax on Sunday, after puck drop, you saw, all the players go and shake Josh DeYoung's hand, but then, a few of the Wildcats had a little chat with Mathis Rousseau. So, to me, that's when I kind of had a feeling that something was happening. It's pretty rare when guys go talk to a goalie after a game.
Yeah.
Unless it's to say, it's a good game,
Unless
good
he
game.
make 60 saves and a shutout.
Yeah,
Right.
and clearly, I mean, it was Mercier, it was Morin, it was Collard, it was the vets, telling them, well, the bus leaves at 6:00.
Yeah.
It's that's I don't get off topic here, but that was back to when I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen. But you're right, the Gatineau road trip is always a good one. It's hopefully they don't dress 70 on that game because there's not enough room on the bench in Val-d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the Rouen game is going to be the tough one, and that's the one I'll probably actually stay awake for.
That's on a Saturday night. You should be able to.
Is it Saturday night? Oh yeah, Val-d'Or's probably Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
No, Friday, Saturday.
No,
Friday.
Gatineau is Thursday. Rouen is Saturday. Val-d'Or is Sunday.
Man, I suck.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, we got that famous Thursday, which was against Gatineau, but
don't count them out.
Nope.
Remember they came back and
that is true. They did.
So it's not an easy game, but yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Rousseau has played a lot of hockey. I know it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't mind seeing Guimond get 2 of these 3. I know it's not going to happen.
No,
but
should.
Yeah, it should.
Rousseau hasn't played over 49 games in a season, and he's at 30 right now. So that's 19 of the remaining 28. So if he plays 18 and Rudy plays 10, I'm okay with that. Rudy's second in the league in save percentage right now at a 2.
And it just seemed like just a week or 2 ago, people were saying to upgrade on Rudy Guimond.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. 3 games, 3-0.
Grasshopper.
Our backup goaltenders are combined 8-0 right now. Did I tell you how I'm not into conspiracies? I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all.
You mean to tell me COVID didn't start from a bat?
No. One of the weirdest things is there's a conspiracy out there that says in 2020 we all died and we came back in a resimulation. We restarted everything, right? Mm-hmm. Everything restarted. I never believed it, but I'm effing starting to. So in 2020, we had the number 1 team. Mm-hmm. We grabbed 2 top players from Halifax. Layla was pregnant. Oh. Tampa Bay played Washington in the playoffs. And our goaltender's last start before everything shut down was a shutout against Cape Breton. This year, Layla's pregnant. Number 1 team. Picked up really 2 good players from Halifax. Well, 3 actually.
3, yeah.
From Halifax. Tampa is going to host Washington in the wild card round. Jacob Steinman's last start for the Moncton Wildcats was a shutout. So, I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, but did the New England Patriots fire their head coach after 1 season?
No, they didn't. Whether they won or lost, and they didn't lose out on the number 1 pick. But I'm like, I don't believe in shit, but you kind of start to believe in shit. And hopefully because things have been reversed, we're not going to end the world. But yeah, I think Rudy has at least to get 1. And it's probably the Val-d'Or one.
Yeah, like I said, I want to see him.
I would love to see him play Gatineau and Val-d'Or and just have Rousseau play Rouen.
I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah. But there has to be a commitment to getting him more starts in the in the second half. For sure. Fans have been clamoring for it. Are you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
The first one of 2025.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy a house from him. Stick tap of the week.
All right. Can I get my honorable one before you
do your thing?
Okay. I got honorable stick taps because this is obviously my segment. It goes to friend of the show, Jamie Tozer, and fan listener, Remy Gaudette. They were both at the World Juniors over the holidays, and they both picked me up a 2025 World Junior puck.
Nice.
That I will get autographed and add to the wall because I was supposed to be there, and that's what I was going to get is get puck added to the wall. Yes, I asked Remy if he would get me one, and I was like, I kind of need 2 for autographs. So I asked Mr. Tozer if he was able to pick one, if they still had one. So they both got it. So I'm going to give them an honorable stick tap.
There you go. And you're going to get Sump and Pikarczyk to sign it.
Yeah, 100%.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Then next year I'll get Desnoyers to sign it. Obviously, gold and goal.
And Gardner McDougall.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the first stick tap of 2025, so I don't know who this person is, but
I love when you stick tap stars. I don't know who this is,
but I do have to give the stick tap to whoever is behind the social media accounts for QMJHL Newfoundland.
Oh yeah,
because let's be honest, they're not even a team yet, and they have better presence on social media than some of the teams in the league.
Yeah.
They were absolutely killing it with Home Alone memes all over the Christmas break. And the whole video production that they put out about the team, man, that was high quality stuff. That was like a pro level, professionally done video.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what's to be expected from a social standpoint for that team, they're on to good things. Unbelievable so far. The memes, the jokes, the presence, on X and Instagram, top notch. Again, don't know who it is. Love to meet you someday because you're off to a effing flying start. There you go.
No, yeah, that's a banger. Have you seen what Jeff Merrick shared? He shared Ben Murphy, so Benjamin 24. Benjamin 24. It's on your Newfoundland. Sam Prowse did some jersey mock-ups and some names for a team in St. John's. He's got the St. John's Shamrocks, which was from the movie Goon.
Okay.
They were called St. John's Shamrocks, and then he dug into it, and they actually have a storied history. And then he's got the Newfoundland Gales, which second concept he goes into it when you click on it, why he has it, and then he's got like logo concepts, jersey concepts.
Those are sharp.
Yeah, and that's the St. John Shamrocks, very Dallas Stars looking. And then the other one is the St. John Legends, which is to their military. And I've seen a lot of Regiment.
Regiment was my pick. That's what I voiced on Twitter.
Did you see what I put on there?
No.
Go 90 CFL with the Ottawa Rough Riders and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, the St. John Sea Dogs and the St. John's Sea Dogs.
Oh, God. No,
I used the Spider-Man meme. I've seen some good. I saw one that was like Pelicans or Puffins or something like that, and it had the logo. It was nice.
I still think the Newfoundland Sealers. Yeah. Because of course, when you go on a Quebec road trip, that would translate to Les Fuckers to Telnev.
Yeah.
So I like Newfoundland Sealers.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Just doing a little bit of updating. All right. And that's whatever it's going to be. It clearly is trending in the way it's not going to be the Fog Devils, but I'm excited to see what it is. And
they've already said it's going to be Newfoundland something. It's not going to be St. John something. It's going to be Newfoundland.
How do you feel about that?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like how they're, it's you don't go and like, it's the only team that's really going to be province, right? Like it's going to have that provincial feel. It's not going to be a city team. It's going to be a province team. So I like it. It's to be able to kind of represent the entire, the Rock, right? I think it's going to just get a better feel to it.
It's got that Saskatchewan feel where when it's Newfoundland, it's everybody's team, and
you
get a lot of travel.
Everybody's team. Yeah,
you're not just catering to one market, and hopefully the Q can do us a favor and put Moncton opening the season in Newfoundland, and you and I can do another road trip.
Oh, boys, 24-hour car ride, 10 hours on a bunk and on the ferry.
I'm in. Let's do it. All right, let's get to the Wildcast of the holiday. What's that?
I think we'll fly for that.
Yeah, I think we'll fly for that. Let's get the Wildcat of the holiday season. Brought to you by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa. Teeth whitening is now available for booking, starting at $85. 3 15-minute sessions included at that price. Add another $15 for 20 minutes. They also have a cold tub.
Yes, I actually saw that.
Absolutely not will I do that.
And I messaged Nicole and I said, I want dibs on being the first one.
And
she said, I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay. So, now, when you said I want dibs, she knows that's just you, not us as a podcast.
Oh, I thought we were going in together.
I mean,
the spider could
we go in together. Oh, good times. And don't forget they got the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services, get one free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop in at 1224 Mountain Road. We talked about him off the top. He's a MVP candidate, making us look silly for not picking him for MVP of the team. He's a league MVP candidate. He's got an 8-game point streak, 8 goals, 8 assists in those 8 games. I don't know what more he can do. He should have the C on his jersey. The Wildcat of the week / holidays is number 18, Caleb Denoyer. And that's it. That'll do it for the show, sir. We survived our first one.
Mm-hmm.
Not too shabby. If you want to go on the bus trip, do you want to go on the bus trip, March?
No.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I would, but I'll have a 1-month-old. March 5th to 8th, go to Moncton Wildcats fan club on Facebook. Get in touch with Tandon Stewart, Nicole Solomon, or Bruce Arsenault. It's only $50 to secure your seat, and then prices go up from there. Obviously, for the trip, they need $50 to make sure the bus trip is going. I think they're close to selling it out. So if you want to get on there by February 1st, so you got some time. I know it's a bit of money, but hey, you're gonna get to see him play Rimouski, which is a potential Memorial Cup game. It's going to be a big game in terms of that. Sherbrooke and Blainville. So a good road trip to see some good quality hockey. Again, we want to send out a big thank you to the GM, Taylor McDougall, for taking the time to join us tonight, recapping the trade period that we had. And we're back from now till we're done. From now to the end of the season.
Every Wednesday until, well, I guess baby interruptions potential, but
there will be no baby interruptions.
June the 11th will be our final show.
That is what we plan on. Yep. June 11th.
Every Wednesday until June 11th.
Yep.
And hopefully we're talking about our team until June 11th.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't mind my child's first picture ever to be it sitting in the Memorial Cup.
Mine too.
Well, you're gonna have more pictures than that.
Yeah,
but mine will be like 2 days old.
Oh yeah. That's
or again, this is looking ahead. But if the championship game is June 1st, my little one is born June 3rd. That's probably the parade day.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because the draft is the 7th.
So June 3rd or 4th, literally hop out of the hospital, go to the parade, put my baby in the cup, I'm out of there.
Yeah, they don't let you do that. But anyways, we'll see what maybe you can get the Memorial Cup brought to the hospital as part of that. You know what? This is it. The team is built. Let's get to where we want to get to. And we'll see you guys next week. For Jeremy,
Sure.
I'm Adam. See you next.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.